Alright, what's going on, guys? We've got multiple knives on the table, and today we're talking about owning multiple versions of the same model. Let's do it. So, I don't know about you other knife enthusiasts and collectors, but I frequently get asked, why do you have two of the same knife, or three of the same knife in this case? Isn't a PM2 and a Bugout is a Bugout? Well, through this video, I'm hoping to answer that question, and in short, the answer to that question is no. A PM2 is not just a PM2, and a Bugout is not just a Bugout. We're going to get into why there's more to having individual different variants. But yeah, you know, I think it's kind of cool to have multiple versions of the same model because they kind of bring different things to the table. So I'm just going to break it down using these couple models, and yeah, we'll just get into it. So I've got three PM2s here, Spyderco Para 2. Same exact knife, same dimensions, same manufacturer, same country of origin, you know, everything other than the specifics of the handle and the blade steel are the exact same. Well, except for the clips on these, but those don't come standard. So, why is it useful to have three of them? Well, they're different, and that's pretty much the basics of it. So, the main thing is the steel in terms of function. So, S45VN, Maximate, and this one actually I do not personally own, and Crewwear. So if you know anything about steels, you know that these three are pretty vastly different. S45VN being a very well-balanced, very stainless steel. Maximate being a highly edge-retentive tool steel, so it is not stainless. And Crewwear being a very, very tough tool steel, also not stainless, although this one's a little more stainless than the Maximate, but not nearly as much as the S45VN. So basically, you know, I like having multiple here because depending on the day and depending on the task, you might need something that if you're going to be cutting boxes all day and you have a ton and a ton and a ton, and it's not going to be a moist, like it's not raining or something, you know, maybe you go for the Maximate version. And we all know that the PM2 cuts incredibly well, is incredibly comfortable. So if you like this particular, you know, model, the way the knife works for you, it makes sense to have multiple different ones so that you can use the same model of the knife in different scenarios. Now, a version like this, S45VN, is going to do you pretty well in all scenarios. In fact, these pretty much all will, but there's little tiny differences that make them more beneficial than others. So, like, for example, I would probably use an S45VN if I was going to be out by the ocean or on the water, because it's highly stainless. Probably wouldn't take a Maximate or even a coated Crewwear because I don't want to risk, you know, rust on the blade. Same if I'm going to be, you know, camping in the woods or something, and I'm going to have to be cutting, you know, a lot of harsher stuff, you know, like shaving wood or like cutting plastic maybe. I'm going to go for the Crewwear because it's a tougher blade. It's a much tougher blade. It's going to be able to handle that. So I just like to always be able to have, in this case, a PM2 in hand to use that really good model that I know that I like, and I know it's going to work well, but to have those options with the steels. Now, the handles is more of an aesthetic thing, except for in the case of this one that actually does feel grippy different. I just think it's kind of fun to have the different colors, which highlight the differences. But yeah, I mean, the steels definitely make them different in their functions, and it's nice to be able to have a PM2 for a lot of different cases because this happens to be a knife that I very much enjoy, and I know it works well. So that's that one. Let's move on to the Bugout here. So similar thing going on here with the Bugout. Three very distinct, very different knives with different uses, honestly. And gosh, if I had to pick one, I think it's impossible. I really, they're all special in their own way. So, you know, standard FRN, super lightweight, S30V blade, very well balanced all around, very lightweight EDC, backpacking knife, You know, good for shorts. Well, all of these are, but especially this one, like athletic shorts. Just a quick, easy, lightweight, super pocket friendly. All of these are, once again. But this is just going to be the standard all-around lightweight EDC bug out. And then the carbon fiber S90V is sort of the super premium, like, I don't know, a little bit classier version is with the carbon fiber handles. Extra edge retention on the steel, so kind of similar to the, you know, the Maximate over here. Similar upgrade from the S45VN edge retention up to the Maximate. You have the S30 to the S90 on the bug outs here. So this one's going to be able to cut, you know, considerably more with that edge. And then finally, the newest addition is the tool steel bug out, the M4 with G10. So this is going to be the harder use. You know, I would never really call the bug out a hard use knife, but if I had to pick one bug out for hard use, it would be this one. With that, you know, Cerakoted tool steel and the G10 handles makes it a lot, you know, more sort of robust feeling compared to the FRN, which is fine because that's not the point of the FRN, right? In this case. So once again, similar to the PM2, I really, really enjoy the bug out platform. I think it's a phenomenal platform for a knife, and the fact that they give you different options to have three very distinct, very useful knives in different situations or carry configurations, it just makes it really, really cool to have multiple, because you can still enjoy the same knife, but you can enjoy it across a, you know, plethora of different uses and carries. So that's my little spiel on the bug out. I don't know. I love these. PM2 and bug out are two of my favorite knife platforms. They just work really well for what they're made for. You know, bug out extra slim, extra light, still extremely comfortable, and that nice blade cuts really well. The cutting geometry is really what does it for me for both of these. PM2 super ergonomic, super good cutter. Both of those knives just work really well. All right, let's go on to one more and conclude here. Okay, Spyderco Para 3, another one of my favorite knife models out there. Got the G10, S45VN, and the lightweight 20CV. Relatively similar blade steels. There's some, you know, differences, but they're pretty similar. The big difference between these two knives is in the handles. And so you have the weight reduction in the lightweight version, the FRN, versus the heavier G10. And the wire clip, I guess, they're both deep carry because I threw this guy on there. But yeah, basically the big difference is the weight. And so it's useful to have two of the same because, again, here you're getting a very similar blade. Well, you know, in terms of the geometry and the actual, like, cutout of the blade, it's the exact same. The steels are slightly different. So in terms of cutting performance, the blades are exactly the same. So that's great. That's going to be consistent across both of these. But you have two very different handles, which allows you to, again, use them in different scenarios and for different purposes. And I think that's really cool because this is a knife that I absolutely love. Again, the ergonomics are phenomenal. The shape is really great. The flickability of these is second to none, in my opinion. And just the fact that you have that variety in the weight, the feel, you know, the color, which I think is kind of fun, makes it really useful to have two different ones. And even more because I've seen some people with very impressive Para 3 and PM2 collections. And you do get into the realm of collecting all of them for the sake of collecting all of them, which I understand. I think that would be really cool. It just gets expensive. But yeah, these two, very, very useful functional difference, and I'm happy to have both of them. So to finish up here, let me just bring these other guys back in the frame. The basics of it is that you find a knife model that works really well for your life and for you and that you enjoy. And it makes a lot of sense to have multiple of that same one because there's many, many, many uses for knives. And some steels are better adapted for certain uses. So if you find a model that you find works really well for you, it makes sense to have multiple of that one, multiple different variants, whether it's a difference in the handle or a difference in the blade steels. Because both of those things give a knife very different usability, and you can apply it to many different situations and cutting tasks. And it just helps to have it on a platform that you know you're really going to like and you know is really going to work for you. You know, I knew I was going to love this M4 Bugout because I had two Bugouts already that I really, really loved. And hey, I was right. I love this. You know, so it just works. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.